behave. Hello, Facebook. Hello, YouTube. Very nice to have you with me this Wellbeing Wednesday. Welcome back to my studios. Lots of really good, fun things to share with you today. So it's lovely to be with you. I've got Lainey, who is manning Facebook today, so she will pop on all the links. As you know, we can't directly link on Instagram, but the links are there on Linktree. So if you're new to Instagram, you're very welcome. All you have to do is go to my bio and click the blue line that says Linktree, and there we've popped all the links to podcasts and features and discount codes and all of that. I'm just going to adjust this very slightly on Facebook, then hopefully you can see a little bit more. There we go. So what's happening today? Well, I was just finishing up a podcast recording earlier on today, which meant that I missed actually watching my piece on this morning, which went out live. I hope you saw it. That was with Eamon and Ruth. Honestly, they're so cheeky, those two. Eamon, I don't think, was particularly impressed with my green leaves, but Ruth was goading him as usual. So I'm sure they'll have that on ITV Catch Up very soon if you didn't actually catch that live. But it was really nice to just share that with you. And on my Instagram, obviously, I posted earlier on today just a few of the behind the scenes pictures when we were actually filming, because it was just crazy. We had to film outside because, oh, that's my postman, thank you very much, because we couldn't obviously film inside because of restrictions. So all the juicing and cooking and all of that had to be done outside, and it was a day a bit like today actually. It was pouring with rain, which meant that we had to keep breaking, and we worked into the evening and trying to keep the light looking the same. So we had to set up these great big lights in the garden to make it try and look like daylight. Honestly, the things that go on behind the scenes you just wouldn't realise, but hopefully not visible on the screen. It just all looks beautifully edited together as if it was all just a lovely sunny day. So what have I got for you today? Well, I've got some new discount codes, I've got some new offers. I'm going to be doing a live chat with another brilliant female founder-led British beauty brand, talking all about hair removal and different ways that we can whisk off those unwanted hairs. And I've long been a fan of this particular brand, and I'm really excited to be going live shortly, if that works, on Instagram. Now, just to say, obviously I can't split the screen on Facebook or YouTube, so you'll just be able to hear what my lovely founder has to say, but obviously on Instagram hopefully the screen will split. So shall we go live with that and just see? By the way, a couple of comments about what I'm wearing. I'm actually dressed today in a British brand. This is Me and M, another female founder-led brand. This really lovely pink sweater that I like. I like all their kind of layering pieces. And of course the side stripe trousers. These are actually from Me and M, but very similar to the ones I was wearing from Borken. Borken, we do have the discount code. That's Liz Loves 20 for everything on the Borken website, including that lovely white shirt that I was wearing earlier this week. Anyway, we've popped links up on Linktree, and I know, Lainey, you will pop them on as well on Facebook. So don't forget that there is a whole section on the website actually called Liz Loves to Wear. So things that I do wear that you might want to check back on, usually we're able to put them up there. We can put links up. We try and get discounts where we can, so we share the discount codes where we get a Liz Loves discount as well. So I can see that I've already got lots of questions coming in here, so I'm going to crack through as many as I can, but let's see whether we are able to go live. I think yes. So Sugar Coated is the brand that I'm talking to, so hopefully that will, it says waiting to go live. Let's see. Connecting, always a tricky moment, isn't it? Is it going to work? Hello.
Hi there, Liz. How are you?
It's so nice to welcome you onto my Instagram live. I'm really well. How are you? Tell us a little bit. Introduce yourself. Tell us who you are. Tell us the name of your brand.
Yes. Well, I'm Rosie Khandwala, and I'm from Sugar Coated Hair Removal. And this makes a change from talking about all types of skincare and finally talking about hair removal.
Yes.
Which I feel passionate about it because I've been in the industry now 32 years. Just over 3 decades, just like you, Liz.
Yeah, wonderful. Now, I didn't realise, Rosie, because I know your brand and I love it. We will talk about it, and we've got a Liz Loves discount code, which is brilliant. So thank you so much for sharing that with us. But I remember sugaring, which is what we're talking about here, which is like the alternative to waxing. It's really simple, it's very safe, it's very easy, it's very effective. I'm a big fan. And I remember back in the day buying a sugaring product from the Body Shop, who were sort of one of the first to promote it. And that was actually you. I didn't realise that was you. Go back that far. Tell us about your journey.
Yes, so I moved from Tanzania with a family, 6-year-old and 7 months pregnant, 1987. And it was a completely new experience when you move it, uproot from your where you're born and brought up and moving into a country. But there's a sense of excitement there as well. But anyway, after delivery, you feel that, you want to just try and get into doing something. And I had a background in beauty because I had worked from a very young age, from the age of 15, in a family salon. And that's where all my experience. And beauty in Tanzania, I don't know, I'm sure, with Kenya, it was far much more advanced, but Tanzania being a socialist state, we couldn't buy anything. So for us, preparation, skincare was all based at home, whatever we could, put together recipes from, family and friends and indulge into them. And anyway, sugaring being in the tropics was the most popular thing we did. Everybody had to do it, throughout the year. So when I came here, I just thought, why shouldn't I, just to try and get myself out, meet people, set up as a mobile therapist that would give me flexibility as well with the family. And whilst I was setting up, I realized that I couldn't buy sugaring. And it was quite strange because never was I exposed to waxing products. I just thought it was something that everybody could buy anywhere.
Yeah.
And that prompted, and I convinced my husband, I said, you know what, it's something that is not known here. And don't you think we should look at more on the business side of it? And got him convinced to start manufacturing.
So
I knew I could.
And your original sugaring that you made for the Body Shop, that was really sort of one of the first ways. And for anybody who's not familiar with it, it's this sort of lovely treacly substance, a bit like a wax. And you've got lots of different ones here. This is the one for facial hair. Might have to give my chin a little go a bit later on. And you just sort of melt it. I mean, you say you can melt it in a microwave, or you can melt it just in a pot of hot water, boiling water. Actually, I find that sometimes it just spreads straight on the skin without having to be melted.
Yeah, it depends on the room temperature.
Okay.
But it's always better to use the product warm, because when you apply a warm product on the skin, your pores open up, and that makes the roots, to get the hairs out from the roots much easily and less trauma and less painful. And that's why all the professional treatments that you will get into salons will be a warm treatment, never a cold treatment. Right. So I would strongly suggest always warm the product, but it will remove hair, but with a bit of a kick.
I just love it. I actually used a lot of your products at the weekend, and so what I'm doing is you spread it on the skin, and then you put your little sort of paper strip that you get with it onto the skin, and then you just whisk it away like that, and with the wax comes all the hairs. I mean, it's amazing.
Yes, I think it's an easy treatment to use at home.
Yeah, really easy.
And so the Body Shop thing came up because in the night when we started the business, the 90s recession came, and that didn't take it off. But I contacted the Body Shop, and Anita was at the time very inspiring, helping young British manufacturers. Yeah. And I just got the right time, and she was the first, Body Shop was the first high street to actually introduce sugaring into the market. So, and that lasted 18 years. So I think it really did a good job. And now here we are with sugar-coated. Fast forward.
Yeah, fast forward. And this is even better, isn't it? Because you then found a way to make it. So this is just sugar, isn't it, that you've put together in a really special way. So originally you had to use citric acid in the formula.
That's right. So we tried to sugar it in order to get consistency and to have a longer shelf life. We eliminated the citric acid because our experience with the Body Shop, we found out that when the product went into cooler places, it started crystallizing, and in the warmer places, it started melting. So that was where the issue came, and we had to find. We got some experience in sugar chemistry and got the blends of sugar syrups to work as effectively as a citric acid would be. So eliminating that gives us a constant consistency to the product.
Yeah.
And so otherwise, you would have variations every time you would have.
I really love it.
With,
so this one I'm looking at, this has got a little bit of lavender oil in it, which I love, obviously. This is the facial one, isn't it? But you do them for all sorts. So there's one here for underarm hair removal. Yeah. And obviously, if you've got a lot of hairs, it's going to be, you need to be quite brave the first time you do it, don't you? But then it does gradually weaken the hair and it becomes easier and more bearable.
Absolutely. I think, Liz, the problem sometimes you have it, we as women, we start hair removal right from puberty to later years. And hair's never go away from, any parts of the body. So, for me, having been using it for so many years, so I'm hair-free with legs, with arms, very few underarms. So my message would be, if you can start at an earlier age rather than using a razor, which not only scrapes your skin away every time you use a razor, it's like, taking a knife and going over your skin. Taking the hair out from the roots will weaken the hair growth and give your skin a much better chance of getting healthy rather than,
I totally agree with you. And I totally say that to my girls who are 19 and 29. I say, if you can get into the habit of, waxing, epilating, sugaring, it is really so good. I've been doing it for decades and have, very little, very weak, fine hair. And it is just and it's so satisfying, isn't it? I'm finding now I actually use your facial one here because I find that, you can get kind of fuzzy facial hair, and it's a bit like the microblading they're doing now, where they're sort of taking off all the hair. It's amazing how much more youthful your skin will look if you just whisk off all those surface hairs just from around here.
Yes, because body fluff is everywhere, and no matter how much makeup you put, there is always been an element. And I think a clear skin gives the makeup as well a much better look rather than, having hairs on your skin, because you're constantly trying to cover them. And I think and doing waxing would really weaken the hair growth. So you are trying to eliminate that area, and if you start at much younger age, you will see the results of it. Rather do it 4 to 6 weeks than every other day with razor.
Yeah, absolutely. And this one, so tell us, so this is the leg hair removal, and this has rosehip oil in it, another real favourite of mine. Well done for combining the natural oils in with the sugar, and that's literally just the two ingredients. It's just sugar.
That's right.
And your rosehip oil. Now, when you apply it, do you apply it so you're going in the direction of the hair growth or away from it?
That's right. As you would do waxing, it's no different. The application should be, if you're a beginner, I would say always get into the practice of it, because it's what people associate is pain with the waxing. When you pull a wax strip, it's the wax which has stuck to the skin also causes the trauma to the skin. Okay. So with sugaring, because it removes the hair, it's like a plaster. The filling is always going to be like a plaster. So, you shouldn't feel that, it's going to be as painful as waxing is. Yeah. So whenever I try and speak to people or, to somebody who wants to start, is start at the bottom of your leg. And get into practice how you flick the strip, because it should be parallel, not at 90 degrees. Otherwise, you're pulling the hairs at a different direction. So, I mean, I've done a few videos which probably, I'll be putting up on YouTube.
Absolutely.
To show how actually the strip should be pulled. It's all about how you pull the strip and get the best effective way of pulling hair from any part of the body. Because if you do it as a beginner in small patches, once you know how to do it, it's much easier. It's just getting in the practice of it.
Getting in the habit. A couple of questions I can see coming up on Instagram is, does it make the hair grow back thicker and coarser?
No, because I think when you remove hair from the roots, you are weakening the roots. So it depends on the hair growth. I think, I'm not going to say that, it's going to happen immediately. It needs a few treatments before you see that your hair growth really weakens up, because it's factual that, if you remove hair from the roots, it's going to weaken the roots. And that's why you get much less hair growth with any type. I mean, if you even doing with an epilady or, where the roots are, if you remove with the roots, it will reduce the hair growth. So, no, it's not. It's not going to come out as coarse as it used to
It's not going to make your hair hairier. It's going to make you less hairy. Now, what I love, and I might actually be brave enough to do this live on my face in just a moment, but what I like with the facial one is you've got two little spatulas. So you've got the sort of bigger one here, and you've got the little one. And what I was doing at the weekend was I quite like getting a really fine line here, and then just whisk it off. And then you just get that beautiful sort of brow shape. And you can also do sort of your monobrow in between there. You can do moustaches, can't you? You can wax your moustache so easily.
Yes. Oh my God, moustache is one area. I mean, I battle with it. I've got no hairs everywhere else, but as you hit after 60s or something like that, which I am.
I love the fact that you're such a successful beauty entrepreneur in your 60s, and and doing something that's just so sustainable and easy. Okay, so I am actually going to do my chin. I did actually notice, I hope nobody's watching, but I did actually notice I had a couple of chin hairs in my magnifying mirror. So I'm going to have to do this blind because I don't have a mirror here, but I'm just going to pop that on like that. And then I'm going to get my strip. Can't believe I'm doing this. And then do that. So I'm going with the direction of the hair.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to pull away from the direction. Yes, I'm going to put it this way. Oh.
Now, if you had a smaller strip, it would
How
be
satisfying
much
is that?
Yes. And it's water soluble. The fact that it's easy to use because it washes away with water. The strips will wash away with water. It's vegan. It's cruelty free. It's everything that you feel. I mean, I feel that 30 years ago when I started, I feel the product is now much more relatable with the way we are going. That your wax strips, you can wash and reuse them.
Can you wash these? I mean, I the ones I had at the weekend, I threw them away. Can you wash these?
Yeah, just put them in warm water, and everything will wash out, and you can reuse them.
Brilliant.
So if you're a first timer, if you have spillages, or suppose for eyebrows, sometimes you get a product which has gone probably on your hair, and you are scared to pull the strip. Wipe it away and use it.
With warm water,
but one thing is you need to use the talc. The talc will really help, because if you've got moisturizer, if you've got any oils on your skin, the product will not adhere because of the sugar base.
Okay, so this is something
it's
that.
Not a.
Okay, so this is just pure talc, really, really fine talc that you also do. So would you use this then? Oops. Oh no, I thought the top comes off, it sprinkles. So you'd use this on anything that you wanted to sugar beforehand, would you? Gosh, that's really fine. That talc is really super fine. And that just takes all the moisture out, does it? So you've got a good base for the sugaring.
Yes, yeah. Once you cleanse your skin, the product will adhere to the skin much better. But if you have got any oil or moisturizer, it will just slip away. So because it's a not chemical formulation, this is the thing with sugar, that you don't want any moisture to come into contact with it. So a talc will dry the skin and be much more effective.
Oh, I'm so excited about this. And then afterwards, we're getting some questions about what to use afterwards. You've got this really lovely soothing mist. And this has got witch hazel in it, which is just, again, such a time-tested ingredient, isn't it? For just calming and soothing the skin. It's a really lovely fine spray. So you just pop this on afterwards with you just to calm down the skin, any little lumps and bumps.
Yes, and
Nice,
it will wash away any residue that is on the skin. So there's the treatment ideally is a chemical-free treatment, and I feel that we as women, hair removal is never been talked about, but I think the benefits of doing a treatment at home, or even if you go to a salon, ask for a sugaring product. Why not? Because you don't want the wax ingredient, and that's why waxing is related to pain. It's because the wax always pulls the skin.
It pulls the skin, whereas the sugaring doesn't. Who knew? And you have very generously given us all a discount. So
Absolutely.
Liz Loves, all in capitals, on your website, which we will link to, sugarcoatedhairremoval.com. But also, I was looking on your website, and you've already got a discount on a lot of the products, and we get a double discount because it still applies on that, which is so generous.
Yeah. I think you're such a good ambassador. I would feel people will listen to you probably than listen to me.
No, well, I love connecting with other brilliant women who are just doing things the right way and, being ethical and sustainable and generous in sharing.
Yeah, and it's all about education. If we didn't get a chance to talk about, people don't know about it because there's only so much. I unfortunately, when doing with the body shop, what I gained was, as a manufacturer, the ethos and the ethics that body shop had on how your manufacturing practice, about the environmental side. It just, now for us, that is such a core thing when we, within our the business. And so I had always been working behind the scenes. It's now with sugar coated. It was a year and a half ago. People say, yes, over 60, have you thought of retirement? And if you recall, we just after when we first launched, we had the Sugar Strippies brand. And our son who has joined us, and he said, well, don't think of retiring, but if you want me to take up the business, I can't do with Sugar Strippies. We will have to come up with a brand which is more related to young and, something that he can probably now, if he he's joined the business, he can promote. So he does his own chest and he promotes it in a way that, so when you have a younger generation coming up, you have
presumably, guys can use this. I know a lot of guys, they're waxing their chests, their their backs, all of that. And this is something that you could do, now with, if anybody is in lockdown, not able to go to salons, not confident about going out and about. This is something that we can do at home. It's easy. You can just build it into your routine. It's great. I'm getting a couple of questions here. Can you use it over moles or on sensitive bits of the skin?
I would always say test it before you use it. There's no reason why you can't, because a mold is not something that's going to be infected as such, and there's no product inside, and then the product doesn't have anything that's going to try and intrude into it. So I know people, I've got a small mole here which I remove my hair from that top. So I wouldn't say that it should be an issue unless it's got some sort of its tendency of infecting it.
Just be careful with any sort of inflammation, and always do a little patch test. I love it, and I'm really thrilled that we were able to connect, and thank you so much. And we'll pop all the links up, make sure that people can come and take a look, have a little snoop around your website, and thank you very much for being with us.
And before I forget, I wanted to show you. Do you remember this?
What
For
is
me,
that?
I'm a big fan of this.
Oh, the cleansing polish.
Cleansing.
Oh, thank you. That was my other life. Yeah, exactly. I don't have any connections to the beauty brand now, but I'm so proud of it, and I'm glad you love it.
I'm equally a big fan of yours, and it's been some time that hopefully that this message will go across, and we can get more people to use hair removal in a more effective way.
I'm sure it will. Thank you so much, Rosie. Lovely to meet you, to e-meet you. Take care. Bye-bye.
Thanks, pleasure.
Bye.
Thanks, bye.
Oh, isn't that so great? Love that. Love that. And I just love the history behind it. You know, the heritage. This is a lady who came over from Tanzania with her family, bringing something that was traditional and just, you know, keeping it going and updating it and reinventing it for us now. One of the things actually that they also have here is the bikini line hair removal kit. So you can get, you know, you can get it for all over, all, you know, all bits of your body, be completely hairless, should you choose to be. So anyway, don't forget, Liz Loves, all in capitals, gets you a massive 15% off, and they've already got discounts on the website. So how cool is that? Double benefit. Thank you very much indeed. Now, I mentioned a couple of things when I was live on Monday, which have really caught your imagination. I was talking about kombucha. You might have noticed me sipping a few little things earlier. Just to say that the Mighty Brew offer I was talking about, this is the one that I'm drinking, their lemongrass, I find that really refreshing, is if you put your order in, I think today is the last day to use Liz Loves, if you want to get your free winter chai bottle for Friday, because if you're going to join me on Friday, I'm going to be making kombucha cocktails and mocktails using the winter chai. So if you fancy joining it, let's just all have a nice event together, shall we? And be a little community. So they have said that if you put your order in by today, then hopefully, postie willing, you should get that to be able to join us and have something for the weekend, which is really nice. Now, I also want to talk about other things that we can use with sugar, because obviously when I was looking at sugaring, it just reminded me of some of the other benefits of using sugar. Now, I don't eat a lot of sugar, but I do have sugar in my pantry, and mostly it gets used for beauty products. And one of the things that I make, which I was reminded of, is this little thing, and I've just popped the recipe on the website so you can find it. It is a rose water sugar scrub, and one of the reasons that I love this, particularly in the winter, if you can see it there, it's really simple to make, is you can use it as a lip scrub. So you can use it with a bit of rose water and your oil and your sugar, and it just very gently buffs away the dead skin cells while nourishing the lips with a nice little bit of natural oil. And I think our lips are getting so chapped and dry at the moment. Well, I mean, certainly mine are, with this drop in the temperature, the weather, the humidity, the turning on of the central heating, all of that. And it's just such a lovely, simple thing to make. And I actually make it quite a big jar of it, because I also use it as a hand scrub. So it's amazing. You put it onto your hands and you just rub it all in, and then you rinse it off under warm water in a tap, and it's amazing. And it smells delicious. I've used an organic rose water to make mine, which I also love the taste of. I can taste it on my lips now. Pop links on Linktree on Instagram, and also we've got links going up on Facebook. So thank you very much, Lainey, for doing that. So if you fancy a little bit of sugar-coated beauty, you know what to do. Now, I've talked about sugar. I've got so much to get through. I have to write it all down here. Talked about, just to say, a lot of people talking also about epilators. I can see here. Epilating, I think, is a great thing. That's the electrical gadget that you can use that just sort of grips the hairs and whisks them out. So it pulls it out. It's like a kind of a cross between a pair of tweezers and a combine harvester, really. It's sort of one of those gadgets that just gets all your hair out. My tip with that is do it on sparser areas. If you've got, a forest growing on your legs, then it's going to be really quite painful the first time you do it. So just try and do it when your hair growth is a bit sparser. And also don't do it if you are premenstrual, then it can make your skin very sensitive. So different times of the month is also really important. You need to avoid, that sort of few days before your period when your skin can be really sensitive. So just bear that in mind if you are feeling a bit ouchy. Then that is something to avoid. I have got a favourite epilator. I've popped a link, I think, on Linktree, and that's just one that I've used for years. So again, I always get asked about that. Now, somebody else I really wanted to highlight before I go, being a Wellbeing Wednesday, being here surrounded in my studios, you can see all my magazines and things behind me. And in our current issue, we have at the back, obviously this is where it all started really, with Liz Loves, because this is a section that we do where we highlight brands that I particularly love and think are useful. And this is a really lovely artist that I just wanted to give an extra mention to today and highlight before this issue disappears. And she's called Claire Robinson, and she's a botanical illustrator. And you may have seen her beautiful illustrations and cushions here in the magazine. Anyway, we have a Liz Loves discount with her, which is amazing. So if you use on her website Liz Loves, all in capitals, you get a 15% discount again, which is really generous. And she brings her botanical illustrations to life with the most beautiful cushions. And she sent me a pair of them. So I've just wanted to show you just how lovely they are in real life. So this one is a hydrangea print. She hand prints them. And this has been hand printed onto velvet. So it's really soft. And she makes them with velvet and linen. So the back is a natural linen. Look at this, isn't this just so gorgeous? So this is a lovely pinky one, which is obviously working with all my pink decor here in the studios. And this is also a lovely one, which I also love, which is more sort of autumny shades. And this has got the edge, the sort of the trim around it. Isn't that lovely? And they've got her logo here. And they have got zips, and they come with the pads and everything, all complete with the feather pads. Just lovely. So really nice to be able to mention something that's just a little bit different. I know we're just beginning, aren't we, to think about Christmas presents and things that we might want to stock up on and just a bookmark for later. Anyway, I love this. I absolutely love it. It's so soft, especially now I've just done my sugaring. I can't believe I did that live. I'll take one for the team on that. Okay, that was me trying it out. Right, before I go, I am going to answer a few questions that have come through on my instant message service that I have here. Thank you very much for Lainey. This is one from Sue, who says, can you tell us which probiotic you take each day? Well, to be honest, I take different ones. I hope you have downloaded my e-guide to gut health, a healthier, happier tum. And that's all about help for bloating and probiotics. And I've got several in there that I take. So I particularly like the Optibac one, they have one which is based on rhamnosus, which I find is really good for urinary tract infections and cystitis. It's very good for sort of female health. I use Bimuno, which is a prebiotic. So I take that. That's the prebiotic fibre that feeds our good gut bugs. So that's also a really good one to take. And I like BioCult, I like Simprove, lots of different ones. So anyway, if you haven't yet got your e-guide, please do take a look at that, because it talks about all the different strains, what to look for on labels and packs and all that kind of thing. There's also lots of information actually on lizearlewellbeing.com. Just head over to the website. I've got a whole section on gut health. Fish oils. Okay, so Dillis on Facebook says, I'm a vegetarian. Is there anything that can be substituted for fish oil? Yes, really important question. So if you are a vegan or a veggie and you're not eating fish, or maybe you just don't like fish and you're not eating very much oily fish, then you need to take a fish oil supplement or an omega-3 supplement that contains the DHA in the form that the body and the brain can absorb it. And that needs to come from algae. Okay, so the flaxseed supplements that you can get, or using flaxseed oil, doesn't convert very well to DHA in the body. So it's all about the conversion, isn't it? So often it's not just what we take, it's actually how our body is able to absorb it. So really make sure, it's really, really important. Omega-3s are super important for inflammation and for brain health and for so many bodily functions. Really important that it's one of the fish oils, the supplements that I take. I have a Newson Health one, which I'll talk a bit more about perhaps on Friday. We've also got a Liz Loves discount code on that. That's Emma Ellis Flint on her nutritional website if you want to check out their fish oils. That is a fish oil that contains EPA and DHA. If you want one that's a non-fish source, just make sure that it's an algae source, okay? Because that will then give you the EPA and the DHA that you need. Okay, Catherine on Facebook says, what's the ideal daily amount of kombucha for good health? Well, do you know there isn't one? It's a bit like saying, well, how much yogurt do we need? You know, it's very much a personal thing. I have a glass or two of kombucha every day. Some days I don't have it because I'm, it's not around where I am, or I forget to have it. So it's just one of those things. If you like to drink it, it's like, how many cups of tea should you have? It's a real personal thing. It's not a medicine. It doesn't have a recommended dose. It's not like a nutrient that has a recommended dietary allowance or anything like that. Just, I wouldn't overdose on it. I mean, I wouldn't drink gallons of it, like I wouldn't drink gallons of anything, but a couple of bottles a day if you wanted, absolutely fine. Really healthy alternative to the fizzy drinks that you get in tins that are so high in sugar, because of course what happens with the kombucha is your little SCOBY friend is digesting all those sugars and turning those into the fermented probiotic gut-friendly drink that is just so much better for us than drinking lots and lots of sugary drink. So I also want to talk very briefly before I go about the last few subscriptions that we have for Earle Wellbeing magazine. If you haven't got your September-October issue, it will be coming off sale quite soon because we're about to have our new one. Yes, we're heading into November, aren't we? And we do still have some of the Life Armour subscription gifts worth £30 with every subscription. So you can have it for yourself. If you haven't yet subscribed to the magazine, don't forget it's not available in stores. You do have to subscribe to receive it now. Or if you want to give it as a gift subscription, and you can set the date as to when you start. You could start in with the Christmas issue as a friend for a gift, or you could start in January if you wanted to start them off in the new year and just send them a note to say, I've given you this as a gift subscription. And then, of course, you can either keep the gift yourself or pass it on, whichever you choose. And I particularly wanted to mention Life Armour this time, partly to say thank you for giving us such a generous subscription gift. We really appreciate it. And as you know, it's been a Liz Loves product now for a long time, because I do genuinely love Life Armour and what they do, particularly things like drops of balance, which is something that I've been taking in these stressful times. I find them really helpful. In fact, that's just reminded me to take a few more. Excuse me. I like their slumber drops. They also give you a sample of the slumber drops, by the way, if you subscribe. And I also like these, which are the drops of immunity, which I think is also potentially going to be very helpful for us at the moment for supporting the immune system. But one of the reasons I also wanted to mention them today is that they are also, if you use your Liz Loves discount code on their website, they are also making a donation to breast cancer. And the reason for that is that the co-founder of the Life Armour brand very sadly passed away with breast cancer last year and wasn't able to see the success of this amazing British female founder-led brand. So her co-founder obviously has continued, and we've done Instagram TVs and Facebook Lives together, and that's been really lovely. So it's just really nice in this month, while we're still in October, to give a real shout out to Breast Cancer Awareness Month, to know that there is a brand who is not only, sharing discounts and goodness with us, but is also taking the time and the thoughtfulness to actually put money back into cancer research as well. So massive shout out for Life Armour. Thank you, and thank you again for the subscription gifts. We really do genuinely appreciate it. Just before I go, I've got a couple of other mentions. Don't forget, I know lots of you are loving Donna May, another British beauty female founder brand. And I was showing this earlier, this was my little drawstring bag. I love these. I put all my gubbins in here. I know it looks like a shower hat. It'd probably double up as one, wouldn't it? But what you can do is you just lay these flat and then pop all your bits and pieces inside. So, I can put in my sugaring products. I've got my Life Armour, I've got my kombucha, everything kind of goes in there. And then you can just do that up. And again, if you use Liz Loves, you get the discount on Donna May London, which is her makeup accessory website. And again, love it. That she just does such lovely things. And a couple of the things that I also really love to show you before I went, you've seen me mention these before, is the masks that she's doing. And these are just so cute. Look at that. They're so well made. And they've got the little lippies on them. So again, you get the discount on her website. So thank you very much to Donna May. But I think our discount codes are running out at the end of the week. So if you fancy Donna May, do take a look at her website. Thank you very much for Mary, your comment there on Facebook. Just been given your yearbook too for my birthday. It's really lovely. Thank you. Well, thank you, and happy birthday to Mary. I have been busy signing them. Those of you that haven't seen or haven't got one yet, this is my yearbook too, so I send those out. They're only available from Earle Wellbeing. It's a special thing that we do, and they're split into seasons. So at the moment we're focusing on, there's a lovely picture of my Lil I just spotted. Look, that was us with both with longer hair. Look how long her hair is here. And that was a recipe for turmeric coconut latte. Oh, what we need on a day like today. And hot chocolate with sea salt. Oh, how delicious. So seasonally, we've got lots of things going on here for the autumn. If I turn around, you might be able to see this. Oh, you can see I make this a lot because my page often falls open on this. This is the roasted pears with ginger caramel sauce. That's a really good one. Yeah, lots of different things. This is a really good night in, actually, if you're having a night in. My guys love these because these are lots of different dips and little flatbreads that you can make. And then, of course, get pickling, lots of things that we can be doing for the autumn. And then if we turn the pages towards the end of the book, got pumpkins here, obviously going on, lots to talk about pumpkins. I've got a new recipe, by the way, for roasted pumpkin soup. That's up on YouTube at the moment if you want to watch me making that. And then we get into, we get into winter. So I've got all the winter recipes, the lovely warming recipes, and then, of course, leading into, yes, you've guessed it, all the things for Christmas. So it's ginger syrup, cranberry and cinnamon gin. How good does that sound? Lots of different things and lots of ideas, obviously, for Christmas feast. These are really nice. This spiced chocolate orange date balls. You can make these and give these as presents. Anyway, I just mentioned that in passing. Lots going on. I am going to be back here with you, of course, live on Friday. So I hope you've got your kombucha brew at the ready and ready for some cocktails or for some mocktails. If you want to make your own kombucha, by the way, don't forget that you can get a SCOBY in your Good Gut box, which has the SCOBY in it, as well as the live yogurt starters, the milk kefir, the water kefir, your turmeric gut bug, your creme fraiche, all of that. So you can actually make your own kombucha. But if you haven't tried kombucha yet and you just want to give it a go and see what all the fuss is all about, then I do think that Mighty Brew, I don't know if you saw my live with one of their founders on Monday, but they are authentic and they are British made, and it is live and it's the genuine article. It's not pasteurised, so it's going to give us some good gut bugs in the meantime. Okay, last little question about kefir here just before I go. This is from Nicola on Facebook, who says, can kefir be achieved with dairy-free milk, or is it not going to be effective? Really good question. Technically, it wouldn't be kefir, and there's a lot of noise about this within the kind of kefir community, because the bacteria, the beneficial bacteria that are so good for us, they do need to feed on the lactose sugars that you get from cow's milk or sheep's milk or goat's milk. So obviously, you know, things like coconut milk or soy milk or oat milk, that they're not milks, basically. They're sort of juices or waters because they're just the squeezed plant extract. So they don't have the same proteins or the same lactose sugars that the bacteria need to feed on. So it will certainly make a probiotic drink, absolutely, but it won't have the same goodness, the same level of activity, certainly, as an animal milk based kefir. But that's not to say that you shouldn't do it, because it all helps, doesn't it, when supporting the microbiome. That is it for me from today. Lots of questions. I will get back and answer as many as I can. I will be over on Facebook putting in some replies to a lot of the comments that have come in, so thank you very much for that. I don't do direct message on Instagram, I'm sorry about that, but I do try and hop on and answer as many comments as I can. Thank you, Rosie, very nice. Lots of chat going on. I'm sorry to have to pull the plug on all the chat, but I hope that we can all get together and chat again on Friday when I'll be back live. And of course, you can always join me on Catch Up as well. So tomorrow I'm not here, but I am filming a little vlog talking about some new things which will go up on YouTube tomorrow. So if you haven't yet subscribed to the Earle Wellbeing YouTube channel, then please do, because that's just another area of connection that we can hopefully all enjoy. So until then, I look forward to the pleasure of your company live on Friday, if not before. Thank you very much. Thank you for all your comments. Thank you. Bye-bye. Take care.